There's been some really weird trailers and some trailer with some big announcements. And that means it's time to look at the coming attractions.
Starting transmission.
All right, everyone, it is time to take a look at all the new trailers that came out this past week. First up, we have The House of Spoils. This is a film from Blumhouse and Amazon Prime. You know what? This one looks okay. It's a story about a woman who's opening up her first restaurant, and there's some really crazy chaos going on, and appears to be some kind of monster vibe too. Very much has that Blumhouse feel. You know what I mean? Those weird jump scares, like it's like build tension, and then boom, jump scare. This trailer has that. Looks very interesting. I'm actually curious to see how this is going to play out. What do you guys think? Have you guys seen the trailer yet? Let me know in the comments section down below. I mentioned this last week in our pop culture news that the Salem's Lot remake is coming out in October on Max. Well, we just got our first trailer, and this looks pretty cool. Reminiscent of many of the Salem Lot ideas. So you have like the little boy knocking on the window and stuff like that. I know this movie is supposed to feel like a 1970s movie, but it still feels very modern-esque in the way it's designed. This one is written and directed by Gary Doberman, and you know what? It looks pretty good. I'm going to give it the benefit of the doubt. I'll wait to see it. I know his track record hasn't been that great, but you know what? I like the story of Salem's Lot. I'm very intrigued by this one, and I'm very curious on what design they're going to go for Barlow, the head vampire. Is he going to be like a Nosferatu, like the Toby Hooper Salem's Lot version? Or is he going to be more like Rutger Hauer's version in the Rob Lowe version that was on TNT back in the early 2000s? Very intrigued and very interested to see where this goes. The next horror film that had a trailer release is for Forest Hills. Now, this one's very interesting. You know, it's an indie horror film. It's about a man who gets like a head trauma in the forest and goes on his wild journey. It has like a werewolf scene in it, monsters. There are a lot of scenes I cannot play here on YouTube because, yeah, it'll hit me because how gory and graphic it is. But the interesting thing about this movie, this is Shelley Duvall's last movie before she passed away. And I know it's very sad to say, but the trailer looks pretty interesting. I'm actually very intrigued by this. I think you will be too. Let me know in the comments down below. What are your guys' thoughts about this trailer? Were you able to see this trailer of Forest Hills? Like I said, this is her very last film before she passed away. And it's like her first film in 20 years since she left the Hollywood life. So it's kind of interesting. A lot of good reviews for her too. Like people have seen this film and said her performance has been amazing in this movie. So you know what? It'd be worth the watch to see Shelley Duvall's very last performance. Next up, we have a movie I think is actually going to be a runner-up for Oscars, and that is Jason Reitman's Saturday Night. This is a movie about the 90 minutes leading up to the very first episode of Saturday Night Live. Like all the chaos that's happening behind the scenes, all the weird dynamics between all the comedians. You know, this is the first time they did a variety show like this with unknown names and a comedy show that was live in front of a studio audience. So this movie is going to show all that chaos. I'm very intrigued. I'm very interested to see how this is going to play out. I'm looking forward to this movie. And, you know, just by watching a trailer, it just feels like chaos. You know, it just feels like massive chaos. And I like that in movies. You know, I like to feel stressed out in movies. I don't know why, but it's just how I am. But this one looks really great. I can't wait to see it. And let me know in the comment section down below if you're also interested in seeing Saturday Night Live. Next up, we have the final trailer for Venom 3. And this one, man, do they let out some massive spoilers here. This trailer revealed a lot. It revealed the first glimpse of Knull, and that's very important, but I'll get back to him later. You know what? This movie does feel like really fun. We get to see all these symbiotes, we see the alien creatures landing on Earth, where it looks like a big portion of it's going to take place in Las Vegas, which is pretty cool. You don't see many like action movies taking place in Las Vegas, unless you're thinking of Con Air, which did take place in Las Vegas. Well, the ending did anyways. But no, the tease in this movie is the biggest part of it. And this trailer teased Knull. And Knull is essentially the creator of the symbiotes. So he created the symbiotes, and they were actually rejects of his. He's like, I don't think get rid of these creatures. We don't want these anymore. And he cast them out. So, with that being said, now we're getting a good idea of what this movie is trying to do. Since Knull is considered the King in Black, that means it was supposed to be like Like so what that means, he was supposed to be like the Beyonders, and he was supposed to help to maintain the multiverse. And that just kind of solidifies it right there. I believe. So here's my theory on this. My theory is that Knull is actually going to tie in the whole Sony universe of Marvel. We're going to get a pretty cool Spider-Man Sony universe tie-up, which we may see in Spider-Man 4, which also just got announced a new director, but later on that. But that is very interesting because if Knull is going to be the main bad for the multiverse and the Sony universe, could we see a team up of Madam Web, Morbius, Vulture, Venom, Kraven the Hunter, I guess? Maybe. I hope not, but you never know. So many speculations on this part. I can't wait to see what they do with Knull, but I'm actually very intrigued and see how they incorporate this character into the actual MCU, the Sony Spider Verse, and everything like that. I just can't wait to see what happens. Let me know your thoughts down below. What do you guys think of having Knull introduced in the new Venom 3 trailer? And last but not least, the final trailer we're going to talk about today is for Dogman. This was just released not too long ago, actually. So, Dogman was created by Dave Pilkey. I believe that's how you pronounce his last name. He is the creator of Captain Underpants, and Dogman is a spin-off of that book series. So the interesting thing about this is that Dogman isn't actually a character in Captain Underpants. He's like a fictional character within that world, I guess you could say. I believe that's how it goes. And I know people down in the comment section will just, correct me if I'm wrong, correct me if I'm wrong. But it's so weird, and this character has by far the weirdest origin story. So Dogman is basically half human, half dog. Basically, a cop and his canine companion get into a horrible accident, and they just, cut off the cop's head and put the dog's head on the cop's body. It's very strange. He's half human, half dog. He has the body of a human, head of a dog. I feel like I've seen this before. What movie had a human body with a dog head? Anyways, so yep, I just made a call out to Mars Attack. Yes. Okay. Anyways, you know what? I never actually watched the Captain Underpants movies. That's not my cup of tea for a type of movie I like to watch. This one, if you're a fan of Captain Underpants, you were a child that read those books, and you really liked the Dogman books too, this is going to be a movie up your alley. I hope you guys enjoy it. I hope it's something you guys enjoy to watch. And who knows? Maybe the film will end up being really good, and I'll have to maybe watch it. Who knows? We'll have to wait and see. Okay, that wraps up all the trailers for our coming attraction segment. Like I said, I'll post a link down below with all the trailers so you guys take a look at them yourself. And now let's get into our next segment, pop culture news. So this week, we had a lot of movie announcements. We had a lot of different things going on. I really want to talk about some of the big news that I enjoyed that was announced this past week. And some news that was kind of like, weird. Nothing to say. So, first up, San Diego Comic-Con. The tickets go on sale September 21st for the returning guests. So if you went to San Diego Comic-Con in July, you'll be have the opportunity to buy tickets on September 21st. So I recommend that you make sure that you have your account set up and you're ready to go. And you're ready to go on September 21st to buy those tickets. And then after September 21st, it opens to the general public probably around November, late October, early November. Is usually when it opens to the public. And you'll be able to get a chance to either buy any additional tickets or, buy your tickets for the first time if you're not able to during the pre-release date on September 21st. All right. If you are a fan of watching the Netflix series for Monsters, the Jeffrey Dahmer story one, so currently next week, I believe, or this week, season 2 premieres, which is about the Mendez brothers. So season 3 is going to be based off the serial killer again, and this is a serial killer that pretty much inspired many other like horror movie characters. So it inspired Leatherface from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It inspired Psycho, so Norman Bates. It inspired Buffalo Bill from Silence of the Lambs. You name it, this character's had his hands in many different kind of serial killers. So they've tapped Charlie Hunnam, who was the main actor from Sons of Anarchy, to actually play Ed Gein. So it's very curious. I'm very curious how where this is going to go. I'm very curious about what this series is about. In addition, this past weekend we had the Primetime Emmys, and it looked like Shogun swept the award season with for the best drama series, best actor, you name it. It won so many awards. And congrats, Shogun. And I haven't really seen the show yet, so I do want to check it out. So it might be on my list now to watch after I finish some other shows I'm watching right now. So I can't wait to see it. And for comedy, The Bear swept the award season. And this is a show that I know a lot of people out there. I've seen other reviewers and stuff like that say that this shouldn't be up there for comedy. It's more of a dramedy. I don't know. What are your guys' ideas? Do you guys watch The Bear? Do you guys watch Shogun? Do you think The Bear is more of a comedy show? Let me know in the comments down below. What are your thoughts? In addition, we also got the announcement that they found the director for Spider-Man 4. And the director for Spider-Man 4 is going to be Destin Daniel Cretton, who is also the director of Shang-Chi. He also directed the Wonder Man TV series that's going to be coming out on Disney+. He was tapped to direct the Kang Dynasty, so Avengers 5. But since that fell through, he left to go actually work on Shang-Chi 2. But now it seems like he's now working on Spider-Man 4, which is kind of frustrating because I actually want to see Shang-Chi 2. And I've been looking forward to seeing more Shang-Chi movies. I know it's only been like 2 or 3 years. The last one came out. Come on. I think there's a lot of us out there that want to see Shang-Chi 2. As for the story for Spider-Man 4, it was supposed to be a grounded story, but now knowing that it's going to be taking place in between Doomsday and Secret Wars, it might be another multiverse story, and that's kind of a bummer. But think about that again. Would you got to do some Knull and Venom 3? Could that mean Knull is going to be the main villain in Spider-Man 4? Who knows? It could be anybody. So I'm looking forward to this. I'm looking forward to the fight scenes that we're going to be seeing in Spider-Man 4. Let me know your comments down below. Are you excited by this news? Are you sad that it's going to be longer till we get a Shang-Chi 2? I know I'm pretty sad. Or are you excited that, hey, we got a pretty cool director who's going to be directing Spider-Man 4? Let me know in the comment sections down below. All right. So, go to the big news. Now I got 2 news stories that I just got released the last couple of days. They're not good. They're interesting. So, first up, we got an announcement that we're getting a SIMS movie from Amazon MGM. I know, it's so weird. I don't understand why we're getting a SIMS movie. What is the movie going to be about? Is it going to be about people just walking around, living their life? I don't understand why we're getting a SIMS movie. This sounds really silly, but heck, it could turn out to be like the Minecraft movie. Or the Barbie movie. I mean, there are movies that we didn't expect to ever see, and we could not comprehend what the movie's going to be like. Lego movie, Minecraft movie, Jumanji, Barbie movie. These are all movies that we didn't know what to expect, and they turned out, well, they're hit and miss mostly. But who knows? This could be a very interesting movie. It could just, but I don't know of any storylines that take place in The Sims. So who knows what it's going to be like. Let me know in the comment section down below. Are you intrigued by the Sims movie? Do you want to see a Sims movie? I know I really don't, but heck. We'll have to wait to see what happens from now on. Because, nothing could happen from this news. Or next year we could be talking about the trailer for The Sims. So, who knows? Alright. So, we're also getting news. And back up a little bit here. So we've had movie news about Mattel's Hot Wheels movie, and that's kind of gone through the ringer here and there. Nothing's coming of it. We don't know when it's going to get made. We don't know when it's going to come out, but it's in the works. At D23, we got an announcement that The Rock is going to be in a movie about Monster Jam, so a monster truck movie. Okay, that's cool. We get a monster truck movie. So it goes without saying that, of course, we're also going to be getting a movie about Matchbox. Yes, Matchbox cars. Same thing as Hot Wheels, same thing as monster trucks, but I digress on this one. We're getting a Matchbox movie. And who have they tapped to star in this movie is, of course, John Cena. Who, honestly, I have preferred John Cena movies over The Rock movies lately. I know, that's very controversial. I know. Sorry to say that. But yes, I have actually enjoyed more John Cena movies than I had enjoyed many of The Rock movies. So take that what you will. All right, guys. So that's also being announced. So we're going to be getting another car movie, or different type of car movie. Who knows what it's going to be? The plot's going to be about. Who knows what's going to be? Who knows when they'll get made? I mean, they're just being announced, so it could be years from now before we see any of these projects. So let me know in the comments down below. What are your thoughts on these new diecast car movies that are coming out? And I also just want to take a few moments to pay respect to two legends in the pop culture industry who have passed away this past week. On September 9th, we had James Earl Jones pass away at the age of 93. You know, this was a legendary actor for movies like Coming to America. He was the voice of Darth Vader, the voice of Mufasa. He was in the movie The Sandlot, Field of Dreams. He was in tons of movies, and you know what? His presence was well known. His voice is so well known. Actually, he was even the voice of CNN for a little while there. But yes, this guy had a great career. He will be missed. And you know what? I like Kevin Smith and Ralph Garman says, a big bucket of win for this man. All right. The other passing this past week, we also had on September 9th, also in addition, we had John Cassady pass away. And you're probably not familiar with John Cassady. He is the comic book artist that was known for his artwork in Astonishing X-Men with Joss Whedon. His art was great in there. He worked with Warren Ellis on Planetary. I actually have Planetary here, one of his books. I love Planetary books. This is a great series. And Astonishing X-Men was one of the book series that got me back into reading Marvel Comics too. So the guy is a legendary artist. He's been around for many, many years. And you guys have probably seen his work, you know, in either Marvel Comics and Wildstorm and DC. He's pretty much drawn almost every superhero out there. And man, this guy was a legend. So without further ado, I just want to say goodbye to John Cassady and may you rest in peace. And last but not least, there's some actual cool collectibles coming out this next week. Mattel, 85th anniversary of Batman, is doing a collab with Barbie. So I know you're probably wondering, is there going to be a Batman Barbie doll? Well, kind of. Sounds like what they're going to be doing is actually a Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy doll from the teases. So that's pretty cool. Doing those figures pretty soon. So, but that pretty much wraps it up, guys, for today's pop culture news and for coming attractions. I should make sure you guys hit the like, subscribe, and the notification bell so you're notified whenever a new video is posted. And until next time, guys, this is JD with the Figgy Pop Clark channel. See you later.
That concludes a Figgy Pop transmission.